Shalom, brothers and sisters. All honor and glory goes to the Most High Yahuah in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Brothers and sisters, we need to really talk about all this false doctrine that's going around. It's getting pretty bad. So the title of this video is False Doctrine, Deception Amongst Brews. And a lot of you know a lot of these deceptions, and I'm just going to go over a few of them. And if you want to add to this at the end of the video, please do so in the comment section below, and that will help each other identify more false doctrines that's going out. But I don't want this video to be too long. And this is just going to be more like a conversational video more than me breaking out script and all that. I'll do another video later on with the script. But for now, I want to just talk with you about this. Now, brothers and sisters, I want to remind you that there is a tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and this tree knows good and it knows the scriptures, so it can portray itself as being an angel of light, and its ministers can be portrayed as ministers of light. Doesn't matter if they're an awakened Hebrew or still in Christianity. They can portray themselves as being a good person, and they can do good works and everything. But does it mean they're saved? Does it mean they were sent by the Most High? And some of these false prophets on here, they sound very good, don't they? They will get down with the word. They'll break out script after script after script. And later on down the line, you find out some real truth. And you looking at them strange now. All of a sudden, they a false prophet. And some of us make mistakes. You know, I've made mistakes in the past. But here and there, it's very rare that I make a strong mistake. Not unless I'm just not learned enough, and I'm teaching what I know. And so there's things like that you got to keep in mind with some of us who is waking up and who has been on here waxing better and better. Now you got your false prophets on here waxing worse and worse. They're coming out with more doctrine, false doctrines of demons and devils and doctrines of men. And the very few of us that's here, the few that's going to be saved, we are the elect. We are the ones seeing these things. And we're trying to not only stay on track and stay away from these false people on here, we are also trying to put out this information for you to be helped. So there is amongst Christianity itself was thousands upon false doctrine that's being preached and taught there. But then you come into this new walk, we got hundreds of doctrines of men and devils starting to pop up in the Hebrew awakening movement. And it is a shame, brothers and sisters, that some get like a year's worth of training and then they're on here preaching with their leaders, just parroting like a parrot, parenting what these leaders have taught them. And all the younglings that are waking up for the first time to who they really are, and they are being awakened by these camps and organizations that's on here, they are leading them astray. So you got the Chicago camps who is preaching and teaching Hebrewanity, which is a blend of Hebrewism and Christianity, Hebrewanity. Then you got the New York camps that sprung out of New York. They're preaching Hebrewanity. It's a cross between Hebrewism and man-made doctrine. Man worship. So you got Hebrewanity over there, and then you got in the center of the country, you know, St. Louis area, Kentucky, you got Hebrewism, mysticism, because they're starting to get into those mystery school teachings like your star children and frequencies and pineal glands and sacred geometry and other things that they are starting to bring into this movement. And of course there's many more doctrines that's starting to come in from the southern camps and west coast and east coast camps. Zion is a hot mess, brothers and sisters, and the only way you're gonna stay within the body is to stay within the pages of the book and keep your relationship tight with the Most High and His Son. That's number one. Remember that church, Smyrna, I think it was Smyrna, where the Most High said He knows their works, and they did good works. I mean, they was doing it real good, but He has aught against them. Come back to your first love. Some of you don't have the Most High in that high loving position that you love Him more than anything else. You done lost that for the camps and organizations, and you're loving them more than the Most High, because you're listening to them, you're following them more than Him. You're hearing doctrine that they're preaching and teaching is false, but you stay with them. So you lost your first love, and you need to come back to Him. I remember when I first fell in love with the Most High, and it's been on ever since. And though these camps wanted to take me into their grip and underneath them, and for me to love them first, the Most High made sure I didn't, because I charged them to do these things, you know, with my prayers. But anyway, that's between me and the Most High. But let's get into these doctrines, a few of these doctrines. Okay, one of the doctrines that we must address is the Holy Spirit being a woman, a female. Now, a lot of you heard that, but what do you think? Is it true? Just because they went to Wisdom of Solomon and took what Solomon was saying about wisdom? Now remember, the Holy Spirit of the Most High is an eternal, His eternal spirit. And that spirit has many attributes within it. Because Hamashiach was called wise. You know, He was called wisdom and counselor in multiple names. You know, so is the Most High. But when the wisdom is being described as a woman, it's being described as a woman because the preciousness of wisdom. You know, as the Most High called Israel, Yasharal, His woman, His wife, even though there's men up in there, you know, it's more of a way to identify how He looks at us, how He looks at Zion as His precious thing, you know, His jewels. And Solomon did the same thing in his letters, and that's all it was. It wasn't for you to sit there and call Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the eternal Holy Spirit of the Most High, a woman, which no one else did. Hamashiach didn't. None of the other prophets did. Not even Solomon called the Holy Spirit a woman. He referred to, like you got your car and men call, sometimes we call her her. How to go wash her, clean her up. We say stuff like that, treat her like a precious thing. Some of us treat our cars better than our women. But that was the whole purpose of that. Now, this movement of calling the Holy Spirit a woman, that's when you get into Mary worship, the Queen of Heaven worship. Mary is the Mother of Heaven worship, brothers and sisters. You also get into Gaia worship, Mother Nature worship, and you get into pagan deity worship. Queen of Heaven, Mother Earth doctrine is strong. This is a pagan deity right here that they used to worship back in the day. It's all pagan. It all leads to paganism, brothers and sisters. And a lot of you know that it's true. But we have so many Hebrews. Okay, I had a small distraction there. But brothers and sisters, be careful whom you're listening to. When you hear strange things that don't sound right, it ain't right, reach out to someone, especially the Most High. That's your first step. Bring it before the Most High, praying fast about it, and let him guide you to the truth. That's your first step. He may lead you to someone to help bring you better understanding. But even there, you got to be careful in whom the person you come across. Now, if it's the Most High leading you, then they're going to lead you right. And if it's the other one leading you, then you're going to find a second witness to the heresy, and then you're going to count it for, okay, I got a second witness, and then you might fall for it. So that's number one. That's one of the number one deceptions popping up right now. I even had another Hebrew who left for a while, whom I promoted. Now, we know Big Judah's one of them who's been promoting this. GOCC is another one. And some other organizations are starting to pop up with this doctrine. But the one brother, I even promoted him on my channel, Victory Manifest. He came back just yesterday, and it surprised me when he talked about a heavenly mother. And so, I put in his comment section and say, hey man, what's your email so we can talk about this heavenly mother doctrine that's been popping up on the net. And so far he hasn't got back with me, but I'm waiting on that. So I got to find that video where I was actually promoting him, because if he don't change, I got to take that video down, or at least cut that part out. And that's something, man. It's a hot mess, Zion. This Mother Earth doctrine. And you know what? I'm going to read something in script real quick. Well, it might not be quick. I might have to do a part 2 to finish this. But this is so very important. I got to read this. So y'all might have to go to a part 2 to this. I'm going to read Jeremiah chapter 44. Now, brothers and sisters, this is the Most High talking to us today. And that we have not learned our lesson from the past, brothers and sisters. And it's going to make sense when we get toward the end. Jeremiah chapter 44. The word that came to Jeremiah, or Yirmiyahu, concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell at Migdol, and at Tahpanhes, and at Noph, and in the country of Pathros, saying, Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, the Elohim of Yasharah, you have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day they are in desolation, and no man dwelleth therein. Now think about this. Isn't the land desolate right now? No man dwelleth in Judah. All of their cities are desolation right now. So it's talking to us today. And now he's going to explain why. Because of their wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other Elohims, whom they knew not, neither they, you, nor your fathers. Howbeit, I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other Elohims. Wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Yehudah, and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate, as at this day. Therefore now, thus saith the Most High, your Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharah, wherefore commit you this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child of suckling, out of Yehudah, to leave you none to remain, in that you provoke me unto wrath. And today we are provoking the Most High all over again. He's telling us, look, your forefathers did all these things, and you're doing them all over again. You're provoking him to wrath, to cut you off, and to leave none of you to remain. And that you provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burn incense unto other Elohims in the land of Egypt, in the land of our bondage. Turn this word to bondage. Whether you be gone to dwell. Now this is where we scattered, that you might cut yourselves off, and that you might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. Have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Yehudah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Yehudah and in the streets of Jerusalem? Listen closely, brothers and sisters. They are not humbled even unto this day, neither have they feared nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before their fathers. Therefore thus saith the Most High of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharah, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Yehudah. And I will take the remnant of Yehudah that have set their face to go into the land of bondage, to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of bondage. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die, from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by famine, and they shall be in execration and an astonishment, and a curse and a reproach. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of bondage, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword and by famine and by pestilence. And we know all these things happened in 70 AD, didn't it? So that none of the remnant of Yehudah, which are gone into the land of bondage, to sojourn there, to live there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Yehudah, to the which they have a desire to return, to dwell there, for none shall return but such as shall escape. And this is a worldwide scattering, though, brothers and sisters. Keep that in mind. And those who escape the sword, the famine, and the pestilence. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other Elohims, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwell in the land of Egypt, bondage, in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of Yahuah, we will not listen unto thee. We will not hearken unto thee. Verse 17. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. They did these things back then, brothers and sisters. And you got all these, you got these men leading all these women, and there's a whole lot of women attaching themselves to this Queen of Heaven doctrine, just as they did in the past. And let's read on. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings, and our princes in the cities of Yehudah. See, we didn't learn our lesson. And in the streets of Jerusalem, for then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. And as today, we got all these victuals real cheap. And it says that victuals will be cheap in these last days. 18. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things. So they're complaining, saying, wait, ever since we stopped pouring out offerings to the Queen of Heaven, we've been want for all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. And when we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and pour out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her, and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? That means the men was with them. Then Jeremiah, or Yirmiyahu, said unto all the people, to the men and to the women, and to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, The incense that you burn in the cities of Yehudah and in the streets of Jerusalem, you and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and your people of the land, did not the Most High remember them, and came it not into his mind? So that the Most High could no longer bear, because of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which you have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation, and an astonishment, and a curse, without an inhabitant, as at this day. This is how you know it's talking about us. We're trying to get back to our land, as I said earlier. A lot of us not going to make it, brothers and sisters. A whole lot. Because you have burned incense, and because you have sinned against the Most High, and have not obeyed the voice of Yahuah, nor walked in his law, nor his statutes, nor his testimonies, therefore this evil is happened unto you as at this day. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people, and to all the women, Hear the word of Yahuah, all that are in the land of bondage. Now remember, there's nothing new underneath the sun. What happened before is happening now. What happened then is happening again. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharah, saying, You and your wives have both spoken with your mouths, and you hear them speaking these heresies of worshiping the Queen of Heaven, Mother Earth. The Holy Spirit is a Mother Earth and Heavenly Mother and stuff like that. Alright, another small distraction. Let's get back to this. See, where was I? Let me start right here. Thus saith the Most High Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharah, saying, You and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled with your hands, saying, We will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven. And this is where you got a lot of them not repenting at all. They're not even trying, but actually they can't because they committed blasphemy against the Most High. There is no forgiveness of sins for them from that point forward. And to pour out drink offerings unto her, you will surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vows. Now they was directly worshiping the Queen of Heaven back then. They wasn't calling the Holy Spirit a woman or worshiping directly the Holy Spirit as the Queen of Heaven. But now you have this doctrine tying in the Holy Spirit to this doctrine here. Heavenly Mother, wisdom. You know, it's getting bad, brothers and sisters. Let me finish this. Therefore hear ye the word of Yahuah, all Yahudah that dwell in the land of bondage. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, saith the Most High, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Yahudah in all the land of bondage, saying, Yahuah Elohim liveth. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And this is when those curses came upon us and followed us wherever we went, wherever we were scattered to. And all the men of Yahudah that are in the land of bondage shall be consumed by the sword and by famine until there be an end of them, till we are destroyed, brothers and sisters. Just like the curses say, yet a small number that escape the sword shall return out of the land of bondage into the land of Yahudah, and all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of bondage to sojourn there shall know whose words shall stand, mine or theirs. And we're starting to see right now the Most High's word is standing, not all these other heathen Hebrews and their false doctrine, not all these other heathen Christians and their false doctrines, but the Most High's word is standing. And we are seeing this. We are being shifted like wheat. We are being purified. Verse 29, and this shall be a sign unto you, said the Most High, that I will punish you in this place, that you may know that my word shall surely stand against you for evil. Thus saith Yahuah, behold, I will give Pharaoh Hophra, king of house of bondage, into the hands of his enemies, and into the hand of them that seek his life, as I gave Zedekiah, king of Judah, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, his enemy, and that sought his life. So this is how you know he's talking about today. This is talking about wherever we're at in bondage, whatever king that we have over us, who is our enemies, in whatever land we're in, scattered into, brothers and sisters. He's comparing it to when our king of Judah was taken by Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, his enemy that sought his life. So I needed to read this so y'all can get understanding of Jeremiah chapter 44. Explains that we used to do the same things back then, but now it's even worse. They done attached this Queen of Heaven doctrine, false doctrine, to the Most High's eternal Spirit. That's an eternal sin. That's an eternal blasphemy. That's the only sin that cannot be forgiven. And there be many who done prayed to this woman, this pagan goddess, this Queen of Heaven, this Gaia, this Mother Nature, this Mother Earth. And attached her to the Holy Spirit. And they done committed an act that is unforgivable forever And they're going to wax worse and worse, and many that be with them. That's why you see Big Judah waxing worse and worse. And you're going to have others who then attach this pagan goddess to the Holy Spirit. Once they do that, and they speak it out of their mouths, that's a wrap. That he committed an eternal sin that's unforgivable. Now, some of them out there is probably unsure, and maybe they haven't prayed to this deity and attached it to the Holy Spirit, but they're following this person. Maybe there's a chance for them still, and they haven't committed in their heart that the Holy Spirit is a woman and is this pagan Heavenly Mother deity. I'm telling y'all, there's so many of them fell for this. It's a shame. But I'm going to go ahead and start a part 2, brothers and sisters. So y'all go to part 2. And we're going to talk about all the other false doctrines over there. And I'm not going to be so long with each one of them like I was on this one, because this one rose up so fast. Well, not really. Well, yeah, if you look at within the last 5 years of the Hebrews waking up so fast, and when this doctrine started, you know, in the GOCC camps and started spreading out to others, and it's just a hot mess. Zion is a hot mess right now. So go to part 2. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you hit the notification bell, because YouTube is doing some strange things, brothers and sisters. They have been. I just don't talk about it a lot. They have been doing things to my channel, to my videos, to the views, to everything. They've been doing a lot of things that y'all don't know about. They've been taking down some of my videos, or blocking some and giving me strikes, all manner of wicked strikes. You know, I challenge them. Some of them reverse it, but then they leave something on there. You know, and their control over YouTube and how we present things is tightening up even more. But they've been after my channel for some years now. No joke. I done busted them. Messing with my subscriber count, messing with views, messing with everything. But you know, I don't even care about all that. But we'll get into that in a future time. All right, brothers and sisters, shalom. Go to the next video.